Love is like a flower. Sometimes, the best thing we can do is let it bloom quietly and grow freely. We can admire its color, enjoy its scent, and still choose not to pick it. Because once a flower is taken from the branch, its life begins to run out. This is the romantic French film Une rencontre, also known as Quantum Love. Pierre is a successful criminal defense lawyer. He has been married to his wife Anne for 15 years, and they have 2 children together. His children are bright and lovely. His wife is gentle, intelligent, and devoted. Their marriage is warm, stable, and affectionate. Pierre sees himself as a good husband and a responsible father. He is satisfied with his peaceful life and knows he is lucky to have it. He never imagines that one woman could disturb everything. At a celebration hosted by his friend Julien, Pierre is introduced to Elsa, a famous writer. They start talking because they both like rolling cigarettes. Pierre carries tobacco, while Elsa usually carries rolling papers. They laugh at the strange little coincidence, only for Elsa to discover that her papers have run out. They split up to ask other guests for rolling papers, then realize almost no one else at the party smokes this way anymore. The two joke that young people probably do not even know what hand-rolled cigarettes are. The conversation feels effortless. Pierre notices that when Elsa smiles, there is always a trace of sadness in her eyes. She looks bright and beautiful, but not untouched by life. Elsa is divorced and rebuilding herself after a difficult marriage. She has children, a writing career, close female friends, and a younger lover named Hugo, who is also a writer. Her private life is messy enough that her friends, including Julien, know about it. But Elsa has one firm rule. She does not get involved with married men. She may date freely, searching for comfort, pleasure, and emotional warmth, but marriage is a line she refuses to cross. Elsa once loved a line by Aragon, a line about love, melancholy, work, friends, children, and the sadness of not being able to speak loyalty to the person one truly loves. That kind of sadness quietly lives in her too. When Elsa goes out drinking and dancing with her friends, she can forget work, children, and even herself for a while. She can simply enjoy the beauty of the moment, but she does not expect to run into Pierre again. At the same time she sees him, Pierre sees her. He walks over first, unable to hide his excitement. He has just won a difficult case and came out to celebrate with colleagues. Meeting Elsa here feels like an unexpected gift. Pierre offers to buy her a drink. Elsa, who might normally drink something stronger, orders water instead. She feels that is the only way she can keep herself composed. By coincidence, Pierre is wearing the same outfit he wore the first time they met. Afraid Elsa will think he is careless, he quickly explains that it is only a coincidence. Elsa does not think badly of him. She says he has good taste. The air between them changes. Elsa immediately becomes alert. She never gets involved with married men. Pierre, however, cannot stop being curious about her. He admits that some hidden corner of his heart has been stirred by Elsa. Still, he insists that he is loyal to his wife and would never leave Anne for anyone. Elsa wishes him well and says Anne is lucky to have such a faithful husband. But when Pierre sees Elsa dancing, his certainty begins to shake. In the next imagined moment, he goes to her, and the two of them give in to a passionate kiss. They try to stop themselves. They tell themselves their relationship can only go this far. Pierre is terrified of seeing Elsa again, and just as terrified of never seeing her again. Elsa feels the same pull. Pierre imagines what would happen if they ignored morality and began a secret affair. His life would change. Anne would eventually notice something was wrong. She would see him taking calls in secret, hiding in the bathroom to answer messages, and carrying movie tickets that have no explanation. She would confront him. They would fight. Their marriage might collapse. To prevent the mistake from growing, Pierre and Elsa agree not to exchange numbers. They say goodbye, reluctant but still holding the line. They have protected the final boundary, yet both of them know that meeting each other has already changed their lives in ways they cannot control. At work, Pierre finds himself searching for photos of Elsa and staring at them again and again. Elsa talks about Pierre often when she is with her friends. The people around them notice the change. Elsa has never been this affected by a man. Pierre, who used to be reserved and settled, suddenly seems full of energy after meeting this woman. Pierre tries to reassure himself. This is just a normal male reaction. Before marriage, he dated different women and lived carelessly. But he has changed. He wants to live properly with Anne. If he gives in, he will lose the image of a good husband and father, and the price will be too high. Elsa's friends encourage her to chase happiness, but she does not have the courage either. She does not want Pierre to abandon a happy family for her, and she cannot claim that being with her would make him happier than the life he already has. To her, that would be shameful. Their mouths say no, but their hearts refuse to calm down. Then Elsa and Pierre meet again because of a legal matter. Elsa is preparing to divorce, and Pierre's law firm becomes involved in the case. Seeing her at the office shocks Pierre. The feeling inside him erupts again, almost beyond control. He wants to rush toward her and kiss her, but he stops himself. Once again, he is relieved by his own restraint. But his life at home no longer feels as peaceful as before. Pierre, who rarely argues with Anne, suddenly fights with her after she says only a few extra words. Anne becomes angry and does not even eat dinner. Pierre is irritated too, but he still goes to apologize. The apology turns into another disagreement. Anne senses something has changed. Pierre is physically at home, but his mind seems elsewhere. That unfamiliar distance makes her uneasy. Still, she chooses to trust him. Maybe she is simply being too sensitive. Meanwhile, Elsa watches television with her children. They talk about a movie where a vampire and a normal girl fall in love, but because they belong to different worlds, the romance cannot have a happy ending. Normal people are supposed to find happiness with other normal people. The children's words stay with Elsa. She and Pierre are both ordinary human beings. Why then can they not be together? Julian's birthday arrives, and he holds a dinner party. Pierre and Anne are invited. That morning, Pierre keeps searching for a white shirt. He never cared so much about clothes before. Now he cares because he knows Elsa will be at the party. Anne tells him to wear the blue shirt, and he blurts out that he already wore that one last time. Anne does not understand why he is dressing so carefully for a friend's birthday. Pierre realizes he has said too much and tries to explain, but they nearly fight over a shirt. Elsa is nervous too. Thinking about seeing Pierre makes her forget where she put Julian's gift. When she remembers running into her ex-lover Hugo while buying it, she calls him to ask whether he took it by mistake. She eventually finds the book in her study. Before hanging up, she reminds Hugo that they are broken up and asks him not to act too intimate if they meet at the party. At the dinner, Pierre and Elsa see each other immediately. Watching Pierre and Anne act affectionate hurts Elsa. She forgets her own warning to Hugo and deliberately behaves close to him in front of Pierre. Pierre feels jealous, but with Anne beside him, he cannot show it. Anne works in an antique shop, and another guest asks for her opinion about antiques. Hugo is also pulled away by people from the literary world. Finally, Pierre and Elsa have a moment alone. Pierre admits he was jealous when he saw her with Hugo. Elsa is happy to hear it. She also notices that Pierre chose a different shirt. Their conversation grows intimate, but they keep a physical distance because they are afraid others will notice. Anne notices anyway. She reads something in their expressions and can almost imagine what may be happening behind her back. After the party, Pierre remains distracted, but Anne stays silent for the sake of the family. She could demand an explanation, but what would come after that? She already knows the answer might destroy too much. After that night, Pierre and Elsa again return to their original lives. Pierre and Anne appear sweet and happy as usual. Elsa also stays close to Hugo. On the surface, everything seems normal. Only Pierre and Elsa know they are hiding something deep inside. One day, while talking with Julian, Elsa finds herself alone with his phone after he is called away. A sudden thought appears. She secretly opens the phone and writes down Pierre's contact information. Then she sends Pierre a message. She says she wishes they could love each other like normal people. That message completely disturbs Pierre's heart. After struggling with himself, Pierre decides to leave it to fate. If they happen to meet again by chance, he will abandon everything and accept the love between them. But once he makes that silent promise, he can no longer live calmly. Elsa does not want to simply wait. She asks a lawyer friend to take her to a legal seminar, and there she finally sees Pierre again. Their warm conversation is noticed by one of Pierre's colleagues, who mistakes Elsa for Pierre's wife. Pierre quickly explains the relationship and says he has no intention of divorcing. Elsa hears this and is deeply disappointed. She leaves. Pierre's mind collapses into confusion. That night, he and Anne lie in the same bed, each wearing headphones and watching different programs. They never used to do that. Anne says the feeling is strange, like sharing a bed but not sharing a dream. Pierre tells her that this is the freedom people in love can give each other. But the freedom he is really thinking about is not only about television. Elsa and Pierre believe their lives may never cross again. Then fate creates another possibility. Elsa goes to Brazil for a book event, and Pierre also travels there for work. In a possible version of events, they arrive in the same car, meet at the station, and finally stop hiding what they feel. They decide to give in once. After Elsa's book event and Pierre's work are finished, neither wants to return home. They begin a private journey through Brazil. They kiss in the rain, spend a romantic night at a hotel, and accidentally join a stranger's wedding. In the middle of the celebration, they drink and dance together. They pretend to be a couple who has been married for 18 years. People look at them with envy. Someone even asks the secret to staying so intimate after 18 years. They are only one step away from truly belonging to each other. Then, a phone call interrupts the moment. When Elsa leaves to answer, Pierre suddenly wakes up to what he is doing. He thinks of Anne and the children waiting for him at home. In the end, he leaves without saying goodbye. He understands that the only way to keep a story from ending is to never let it fully begin. In the world of quantum possibility, matter does not have to stay in one place. It can exist in different spaces at once. Pierre and Elsa meet again at a book fair. This time, they can face each other calmly. When someone introduces them, they pretend to be strangers, greeting each other as if none of the past ever happened. Maybe a story must stop at its most beautiful moment to have a perfect ending. Pierre has a happy family. He has been married for 15 years, has 2 bright children, a beautiful and loyal wife, and a successful career. From the outside, he has no reason to betray anyone. Yet the moment he met Elsa, he broke one of his own inner rules. Fortunately, he finally persuaded himself not to betray his family. Love is beautiful, and 2 people in love can look radiant together. Love can make people give up pride, forget calculation, and care only about a shared heartbeat. When 2 souls understand each other that way, even the grass, trees, and birds seem moved by it. Who would have the heart to condemn such a feeling only with moral rules? But love is also impossible to control. Some people search for it their whole lives and never find it. Some believe they have found it but fail to cherish it. Some give up, only for love to walk in unexpectedly. Still, love does not always have to be possessed. Like the ending says, if you want a story to never end, do not let it begin. That is where the story ends. That's all for today's movie recap. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like, comment, and share. I'll see you in the next one.